Have you ever thought about doing your entrance a little bit different this time around? Because I sure just did right now. I don't know why I turned my camera on while I was standing. But now I am back to my normal position and we are here, we are ready, we are hot. Yeah, that's it. Hello everybody, this is That Manga Dude and welcome to another pickups video. Today we are talking about the wonderful manga that I picked up in the month of April 2025. And it was quite the month actually. I picked up quite a wide variety of manga just in general. Mostly because one, a lot of like this indie bookstore, or not indie bookstore, sorry, this indie publisher that I really enjoy. I was just like, you know what, I need to buy some more manga from them, so I did. And then one of my favorite comic book stores in my area actually is closing down, or has officially closed down, so rest in peace. They were fantastic, but I picked up a huge haul from them because they were having a massive sale, so of course had to go and support one last time, and managed to pick up a lot of awesome stuff. And then of course I got a couple of free manga from YPress that are meant for review, so I will be talking about those when we get there. So yes, and they will be labeled as such when I talk about them. Anyways, that's gonna be it. Let's get started right now. You know, I didn't mean to end off that last part saying, and that's gonna be it. I meant to say that's gonna be it for the intro. But anyways, this is the first part of the pickups video. If you've never watched one of my pickups videos before, I usually started off with publishers that are either A, defunct, or B, I just didn't get a lot of manga from. So you're gonna see a lot of like a lot of different manga publishers right now because I got a lot of different publishers in general, and you'll see it's pretty intense. So I'm going to start with Dark Horse first, and that is going to be Ghost Talker's Daydream Volume 3 from Okusei Saki and Meguro Sankichi. I picked up the first two volumes a couple of months ago, or last month, or something like that. And I read the first volume, and I thought it was pretty weird and kind of goofy, but I kind of enjoyed it, so I decided to pick it up. But basically it follows the story here about this woman who is something known as a ghost talker, which is basically kind of like an exorcist in a way. They have the ability to speak to spirits and kind of control them also in a sort of way. So she completes a variety of different like jobs for people in order to like kind of like save those places or whatever. So it's a very interesting premise. It's ridiculous. It's goof. I enjoyed the first volume enough that I would want to pick up the next couple volumes. So I managed to find volume 3, and yeah, it's not open yet, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'll be opening this probably hopefully soon when I decide to read second volume and this one. Alright, going into Alien Books, this is going to be Volume 0 of Kinryo Rock Moon Age Daydream. This is a pretty interesting thing. I didn't know what this exactly was. I can't really show it either because there is nudity in this specific volume, but it is a very action-forward series. Follows a story about kind of like the world as vampires and humans have started to coexist together, and that's kind of like a mix of things going on. So there's political thriller, there's like action, there's it's really fun. I know I will be talking more about this in the reading log, but yes, just know that this was a pretty decent pretty fun first volume. I'm excited to check out the rest of the series. And also this release is really nice. Alien Books has been killing it with the releases lately. Page thickness is great. I love that it has a slipcover as well. That's awesome. So very exciting stuff, and yeah, excited to continue reading this when I get the next volume. Alright, up next, decided to pick up from Vertical. That is going to be Go With the Clouds North by Northwest Volume 7 from Ake Irie. I have been waiting for this volume for so long now. I'm so happy we finally have it because I love this series. This series is fantastic. It follows a story about this boy here who currently resides in Iceland with his grandpa because of a variety of different circumstances. But they're kind of just living there, trying to live life, and he loves meat, and it's just kind of like a nice slice of life series up until a certain point where we start to mix in some mystery elements as well. And yeah, it's just a really great series, and I'm so happy to have another volume of it now. Alright, up next, we got ourselves from Denpa, The Girl with the Sanpaku Eyes, Volume 4 from Shunsuke Sorato. And yeah, this is a series that I've been slowly buying, even though it's not very long, it's only 5 volumes, but for some reason I just decided not to buy volumes that often. The 5th volume came out, I think, last year, and so, yes, I picked up the 4th volume, and I really enjoy this one. This is a really cute, like, kind of rom-com following the story here about this girl who has Sanpaku eyes, and this guy that she really likes, who may or may not definitely has a mad crush on her as well. So, it's cute, it's fun, it's in almost full color, so that's pretty awesome, and I cannot wait to continue reading this series. Alright, next, another one that I've been waiting for a while, and I just decided to pick up the next volume. That is Summertime Rendering Volume 3 from Yasuki Tanaka. This is from Udon Entertainment, and I've been waiting on this one as well. Not necessarily because I think it's bad or anything. I actually really enjoyed the first 2 volumes. I just forgot kind of thing. I'm like, oh, I got other stuff that I'm enjoying a little bit more right now. Like, this is a really great series, but I tend to collect stuff that I, like, really, really enjoy, like, at least actively collect, and then like, these ones that are kind of like, they released all the volumes kind of in one go, so I've been holding off on this one, but like I said, during that comic book sale, I decided to pick up this, so excited to get into more of this very interesting, kind of like supernatural thriller action series. It's really fun. I don't want to talk too much about it if you've never heard of it, but it is a really, really entertaining, like I said, supernatural, kind of like Groundhog Day kind of feel to it. Alright, up next, this is from Tuttle, which I believe is Scholastic's, like, publishing, or one of their publishing things. This is Lala, the Memory Collector, a graphic novel from Sui Kono, and I don't know much about this, but I really like this cover. I think the art looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, I don't know how much I enjoy the blue color, and I think the text for the title is not necessarily my favorite, but it looks really cool. I don't know anything about it, like I said, so I'm excited to get into this. I believe this is a one-shot, so yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. I've been really enjoying things that Tuttle has been releasing just in general, so I think it's really cool that they're coming into the manga publishing space, and they've been coming in with not a vengeance, but definitely coming in hot, and it's been really great to see. Alright, up next, this is from Square Enix. I've got 2 volumes. I picked up My Dress Up Darling Volume 2 from Shinichi Fukuda. I read the first volume recently, and yeah, if you couldn't tell, I may or may not really like the series. We'll see. I picked up the second volume to continue reading this one very soon. Up next, decided to pick up the first volume of Wash It All Away from Mitsuru Hattori. Yes, this is a series that I read for the FVI, so if you want my full opinions on that, you can go check that out. If you want my TLDR, you'll have to read you have to check out the reading log when it releases. And yeah, this basically follows the story about this woman here who owns like a laundromat slash like laundry service where she helps clean clothes and various other materials and things for the people of this small town. And it's kind of interesting. It's just a nice slice of life. It definitely has those Yashike feelings to it, and yeah, that's about as much as I'm going to say about it. You should just definitely check it out if you like slice of life series. Alright, up next from Tokyo Pop, I picked up If My Favorite Pop Idol Made It to the Budacon, I Would Die from Aori Hiyaro. This is volume 6, and this is a pretty fun, kind of slow burn Yuri series following the story about this this girl, or this woman who is like a huge fan of this underground pop idol group, especially like the one of like the kind of more low-key members of the group, and she's totally like in love with her, but like doesn't know how to really truly feel that, like how to explain that, and the pop idol as well is kind of feeling that as well. So it's about this like kind of mix of miscommunication, but also like a pretty good look into the Japanese underground idol industry, which is really cool and really interesting to check out and read about. So yeah, I've been having a great time with it and excited to have the 6th volume. And then up next, I decided to pick up the 3rd volume of Watchdogs Tokyo from Seiichi Shirato and Shuhei Kamo. This has been a really fun series. I really enjoyed the first 2 volumes. I thought the action's been really, really cool. It's a series that's within the Watchdogs universe, which is a video game franchise that also has I want to say it has a comic as well, and probably a couple other things, who knows, at this point. But I've been really enjoying this manga. The manga's been really fun, and yeah, excited to have the next volume. Alright, coming in from the indie publisher that I was talking about, that is going to be Glacier Books, and I picked up the 1st volume of The Other Side of the Clouds from Yoru no Hitsujigumo. Okay, whew, I had a hard time saying that. But I was really enticed by this cover. I think this cover looks really nice, and I think the art style also is really, really interesting. I really enjoy all of, most, if not all of Glacier Bay's books' releases. They're always really well done, really well put together, and just, I'm excited to get into this one. I don't know anything about it. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the volume Flashpoint from Imi Arata, which follows a story about Imi Arata, who is not, I guess, technically not him, I guess is supposed to be like a fictional character, and his wife, as well as his wife's little sister, and about the antics that they go about. It's kind of like a, I want to say like alternate history in a way, kind of like a... It's not really a slice of life. It's more of like a, I guess it's kind of slice of life. Also like drama. It's very silly. It's very whack. It's very interesting. And yeah, that's about as much as I can say about it without just, you know, telling you the whole story. But yeah, if you're looking for something that's like very off the wall, this is a lot of fun. Alright, coming in from YPress, I got these 2 volumes for free, so just so you know, my full opinions will be given during the reading log, but first, I got Reincarnation Coliseum, the weakest skill conquers the strongest women and creates a harem from Saizo, Harawata, and Zunta. This is definitely a volume that I received for free, and I will talk more about this during the reading log. As you can tell by my tone, I think you'll probably guess as to how I feel about this. And then, as well, I also got Tamaki and Aman from Fumi Yoshinaga. This is a short story collection from famed mangaka Fumi Yoshinaga. And yeah, it just tells a story about Tamaki and Aman through various times, various periods of history. It's, it's something I read during the reading log, so if you want my full, or during the FVI, excuse me, so if you want my full opinions, go check out that video. But if you don't want to watch that, you can wait for the TLDR in the reading log next week. Alright, coming into our second section. So this section typically has YPress, but I really didn't pick up a lot of YPress this past month. But, so it's going to be 7 Seas and Kodansha, so we're going to start with the 7 Seas pickups. I picked up volumes 8 and 10 of Kati Shojo from Kumiko Saiki. This is a series that I really enjoy, and I've been having the hardest time finding volumes for, so happy to finally have more volumes of this and to continue reading this. It's a really fun series. Found a story about this girl here named Sarasa, who is this tall girl who is aiming to become Oscar in Rose of Versailles in an all-female acting troupe, excuse me. It's really fun, it's very entertaining, it's very heartfelt, there's a lot of great moments in general, and it's a series that I happen to really enjoy. So happy to have 2 more volumes. They are out of order, but I did pick up volume 9 a while back at this point. So yeah, excited to continue reading this series. Alright, up next, decided to pick up My Girlfriend's Child Volume 7 from Mamuro Ai. This is a absolutely remarkable series. It's really, 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 really well done. Follows a story about these 2 characters here, who basically are in a relationship in high school, and then accidentally she becomes pregnant, and it's about kind of like the fallout of that and trying to figure out what to do now that she's pregnant. And yeah, it's very interesting, it's very well done, it's extremely well written, and I'm happy to have the next volume because this series is remarkable. Alright, up next, decided to pick up Don't Call It Mystery Volumes 3 and 4 from YumiTamura. I have not read this series in a very long time. I read the first volume, I said I really enjoyed it, but said it was a little dense, and that is particularly why I have not been picking up volumes just in general, but I got this during that going out of business sale, so yeah, excited to have another volume of this, and I can't wait to read it. It's going to be very, very wordy and very, very dense, but I do very much enjoy it, and yeah, excited to continue reading. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the first volume of Gene Bride from Hitomi Tako. This is a series that I read for the FVI, so if you want my full opinions on that, go check out that video. But follows a story about this woman here who's kind of tired of the constant sexism she has to deal with in the workplace and just kind of in general. When one day she meets someone from back in junior high/high school who says that they are basically like connected. They are like supposedly soulmates, part of the Gene Bride project that she cannot seem to remember for some reason. So it's about her trying to figure out what is going on with this Gene Bride thing. It's a pretty interesting idea and plot, and I'll talk more about it in the reading log or go check out the FDI. But yes, if you're looking for a very interesting kind of like slice of life mystery series, this is a really fun one. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up the second volume of The Concierge at a Hokyoku department store from Suchika Nishimura. This is a really fun series. Follows a story about this woman who works at the Hokyoku department store, which is basically just has a bunch of animals there, and she's like one of the few humans that, like, one of the human people that helps these people out throughout the store. It's pretty fun. It's very lighthearted. It's very fun. It's very beautiful. I love the art. The art is got this like kind of like wonderful mix of a classic Japanese manga style mixed with kind of like a children's book literature style, and it just works really, really well. So happy to have the second volume, and I cannot wait to read it. Alright, coming into Kodansha, I decided to pick up the third volume of A Brief Moment of Ichika. This is, like I said, volume 3 from Natsu Tailano. This is the final volume of the series, and wow, talk about an extremely depressing series. That's very short. It definitely has a kind of an interesting relationship. It is a teacher-student, but it is a teacher in college and a student in college, so I'm a little more open-ended or more open about this specific type of relationship. I don't typically like these kinds of power dynamic kind of relationships, but it is done differently within this series, so take that as you will. But yeah, it's just a very interesting and fairly sad kind of series following the story about this girl here who's kind of like has a failing and debilitating disease that she's supposed to like pass away by a certain age, but she manages to pass through that because like she's basically fallen in love with her teacher, and yeah, it's about kind of her trying to discover her like goal in life now. It's I don't know, it's pretty interesting, and happy to have the final volume, and I'll talk more about this in the reading log. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the second volume of Blue Wolves of Mibu from Suyoshi Yasuda. Happy to have this volume. I've been really slow on picking this one up, even though I really enjoyed the first volume. But it follows a story about like this kind of like group of samurai, delinquent people in a way that protect this city, but are kind of looked down upon by other samurai groups. And yeah, it's just basically about that. It's got really great art. I believe this is the artist behind Blue Lock? Not Blue Lock, sorry. The other, Aoashi, I think is what it's called. It's a Blue Bird or Blue something. It's a soccer series. Okay, I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, happy to have this one, and I can't wait to continue reading. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up the fifth volume of Welcome to the Ballroom from Tommo Takuchi, and yep, I don't really have to say much about this. This is an absolutely fantastic series about ballroom dancing, and I'm excited to have another volume. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the second volume of Fall in Love, You False Angels from Koko Uzuki. This is a really enjoyable, kind of like goofy slice of life romance, like rom-com series. Follows a story about these two people here who are like the top of their class. They're like they're like the angel and like the whatever, the handsome man, blah, blah, blah. But they have like these kind of like alter egos that they never really show to people outside of their school. But one day they kind of see each other's like opposite ends, and they've come to grow to kind of like become friends and maybe a little bit closer. We'll see. Happy to have this second volume, and I'm excited to get that third volume whenever it decides to come out. Alright, up next, now from the Kodansha Book Club. So the Kodansha Book Club, if you guys don't know, is like basically a print-on-demand thing that Kodansha is doing with some of their digital-only series just to kind of gauge interest. They've only have a couple of series out right now, but there are a couple ones that I picked up and I'm interested to show you now. First up is Teppu from Moare Ota. This is volume 1. I will say the page quality is great. It's kind of that thicker paper. I will say, I don't know if it's like the printer's issue or if this is the where I bought it from. I got it from Barnes & Noble, but the cover is a little bit dented. I don't know if you can kind of tell. It kind of like puffs up right there. So like I said, I don't know if that is a Kodansha thing or if that is a shipment thing, but yeah, a little bit depressing because this was a new volume, but it looks pretty good. I will say I really don't like this spine. In terms of design, it's very boring, not my thing, and it just seems pretty lazy, but like I said, this is very much a thing they're testing, so hopefully it does get better down the line. And the other one I picked up was Blade Girl from Narume Shigematsu. This is a series I don't know much about. I do believe this is about kind of like why am I prosthetic running? So similar to Run Like the Wind, I believe is what that other series is called. This one follows a female protagonist instead, so really excited to get into this. I will say this print does appear to be kind of blurry, at least like the cover does. So I don't know if that's just what's up with that, but yeah, just something to note as well. But yeah, interesting to have these out and about, and hopefully these, like I said, get better over time, because it is a pretty cool idea to be able to get these digital only series. Alright, we are coming into our final stretch, and that is going to be the Viz Media section. That's because I get a lot of Viz Media manga all the time. So, first up, we're starting off with like their, just the Viz line. So, first up, I picked up Rainbows After Storms Volume 2 from Luca Kobachi. This is a pretty fun series following the story about these two girls here who are in a relationship, but they're keeping it a secret from everybody. So yeah, it's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward, and I enjoyed the first volume enough to pick up the second volume. So, yeah, that's about as much as I can say about it. Alright, up next, decided to pick up 3 more volumes of O-Parts Hunter. This is volumes 13 through 15 from Seishi Kishimoto, which is Masashi Kishimoto's brother, aka the mangaka behind Naruto. So yeah, it's a not as interesting series as Naruto, but it is still a pretty fun time. Follows a story about like this like world about these like weapons called like O-Parts, and how they kind of are used in a variety of different ways. So it's a pretty interesting story. I haven't read it in a very long time though, so I am excited to continue reading and trekking on and seeing if I actually end up enjoying the series more or less. Alright, up next, I picked up the 6th volume of Tuxedo Jin, I don't know how to pronounce it, to be honest, from Tokihiko Matsuda. This was a pretty fun series following the story about this delinquent guy who ends up basically getting isekai'd into a penguin body. So he gets hit and he ends up dying and then awakens as like a penguin at the zoo, and then ends up trying to find his the love of his life, which is this girl here. And yes, it is a very strange premise, but it is a lot of fun. Managed to find another volume because I kind of been slowly but surely collecting the series. I picked up the first couple volumes pretty quickly and then haven't been able to find more volumes because this is an older series. But yeah, happy to have another volume, and I'm excited to get back into it. Alright, up next from the Viz Media line, this is Beyblade X from Homura Kawamoto and Hikaru Muno, as well as Posaka Demizu. This is the series all about Beyblade, and it is a hell of a lot of fun. I super enjoyed the first volume, and yeah, definitely excited to have the second volume and to talk about it very soon. Alright, I'm next decided to pick up Twin Star Exorcist Volume 27 from Yoshiaki Sukeno. Glad to finally have another volume of this series. I really enjoy Twin Star Exorcist. Even though it's not like necessarily the most interesting series in the world, it is very fun to read, and happy to have another volume and be able to read and talk about it to you guys as well. Alright, I'm next decided to pick up Akane Banashi Volume 11 from Yuki Suenaga and Takamasa Moe. This is one of the best, if not the best, current Weekly Shonen Jump series releasing. It's so much fun. I love it so much. I've talked about it so much on this channel because I genuinely think it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. Akane is a great character, and happy to have another volume of this amazing series. Alright, up next, this is an early volume, but I picked up Sakamoto Days Volume 17 from Yuto Suzuki. This is supposed to release in May, but here we are talking about it, getting it in April. So yeah, happy to have another volume of this absolutely ridiculously fun series. And yeah, excited to continue reading into the museum arc. Alright, from the Shoujo Beat line, we got ourselves Like a Butterfly Volume 6 from Sue Morishita. Yeah, I decided to pick this series back up again because I remember enjoying it, not necessarily being completely blown away by it, but enjoying it enough that I want to continue reading. So I picked up the 5th and the 6th volume fairly recently, with the 6th volume obviously getting it this month. And yeah, basically follows the story about these two kids who are very quiet at school and then end up kind of trying to develop a relationship with one another. So yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty simple series, but yeah, very enjoyable, and I'm excited to continue reading. Alright, up next, decided to pick up Phantom Thief Jin, or Jian, from Arina Tanemura. This is Volume 2. I've had Volume 1 for a very long time. I've just been kind of sitting on it because I've been trying to collect the whole series before I decided to read it, and managed to find Volume 2 in fantastic condition. So, happy to finally have this. Another Arina Tanemura series. Don't know how I'm going to feel about it because I am very mixed on Tanemura series, so hopefully this one is just a little bit better than some of the other ones I've read. Alright, up next, decided to pick up the first volume of Pink Candy Kiss from Ami Uozumi. It follows the story about these two women here, who long ago in a distant land back in high school, they were friends and may or may not have had some kind of feelings for one another, but as time went on, they've drifted apart, and lo and behold, they are now basically met up once again together, and they've kind of developed a strong friendship once again, while also still kind of feeling that that old burn for the old yearning for an old relationship that they used to have. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about this series when I get to the reading log, but yes, just know this was a very enjoyable first volume. Alright, up next, I haven't opened this, but this is Destroy All Humans. They Can Be Regenerated from Kasada Issei and Takuma Yokota Volume 3. This is a really fun, kind of nostalgic card collecting manga series all about Magic the Gathering. It's a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it, so happy to have another volume, and we'll obviously be continuing reading it very soon. Alright, up next, I decided to pick up the second volume of DRCL, Midnight Children, from Shinichi Sakamoto, and based on Bram Stoker's Dracula. Like this says, this basically follows the story of, like, almost like the original story of Dracula. It's a little bit different, but it has absolutely gorgeous art from Shinichi Sakamoto, who, funny enough, I will be talking about another manga that I picked up from him, because the next volume, and the last volume I'm going to be talking about today, is The Climber, from Shinichi Sakamoto, Jiro Nita, Yoshio Nabeda, and Hiroshi Takano. Oh my god, I got choked up just trying to think about it. AKA, I got a lot of spit stuck in there. But this is the super acclaimed series from Shinichi Sakamoto, as well as the two story writers, following the story about this boy here, who has basically discovered a love for climbing, and it's about him trying to work towards his new kind of like goal of being a climber. It's very interesting. I talked about this in the reading log, and in the FVI, so if you want my full opinions, go check it out over there. And that is going to be it for the pickups video. I hope you enjoyed. It was a lot of fun talking about all these series because it was quite a bit, and I forgot how much I picked up, but I'm really happy with everything I picked up. So what did you pick up in the month of April 2025? Let me know in the comments below. Or are you interested in any of the stuff that I picked up? Let me know in the comments below. And yes, you know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things. And I'm really, really happy that you guys are checking out my videos all the time. We are inching ever closer to 5,000 subscribers, which is so flipping cool. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. You're all amazing, and it means the mostest to me that you guys continue to support like you do. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Oh yeah!